All right. Well, hopefully, folks will be able to hear us and see us now. Oak will join us as he's able to. He is helping out some friends right now, but he is here at least in graphic. We've got the Dion bobblehead going on, apparently.
It's my
But we're
eager
back tonight
dance.
with some first edition Dungeons and Dragons, playing through the Desert of Desolation series. So we're on the first one, the Pharaoh, right now. So our cast of characters. Richard, who are you playing? What level are they?
Hi there, I am Richard, and I am playing Tristan, the human-born, dragon-raised, remuneration expert, who has redistributed his EXP to become level 10.
Well, there you go. That's not
That's
shabby.
it.
That's not shabby. Dion, what do you got?
Hello, I'm Dion. Tonight I am playing Patty Arquette, the level 5 human barbarian.
Yeah, enjoy that level 5. You'll be there for a while.
At least 14,179 more EXP, but who's counting?
That's a lot of rats to kill.
I can do it.
Friendin.
Hi, I'm playing Grown Wolf. I'm a level 8 magic user, level 4 cleric, and I eat stuff that I shouldn't, and sometimes it makes me poop bad in my pants. That's kind of my character. He shits himself a lot, everybody. I'm that kind of person.
It just happens that way sometimes. And if Oak can join us, he is playing Fiber, the orc or half orc fighter. I don't know what level he is right now, but he's rather orcish and he fights a
8.
lot. Yeah,
I think he's 8 because 9 is when he can get a stronghold, right?
yeah.
Yeah, we were building to that. Yeah.
Name level. Nah, you're thinking BX.
Oh, maybe he's 9 going on 10?
Could be, could be. So last episode we left kind of on a cliffhanger. You guys decided to take the other fork as you had released some kind of djinn upon the world who claims he was going to go and destroy all the machinations of mankind and bring them low. And you just kind of said, "Have at it. You need some help? No, no, okay." So that
Well,
happened. Right. But you didn't
mhm.
find what you were looking for, so you headed back the other direction. You came across. Oh, look at that! Jameis threw down something's bad for you to happen today. Well, definitely things bad will happen. But you took the other path. You found marks of the marauders that you're supposed to be tracking down. And they weren't too far ahead of you, so you decided to push through. As you're pushing through, a sandstorm has begun, and it looks like it's going to be a bad one. And just as you're able to find their position and about to come down on them, you don't notice that they have some watchers out, and that's kind of where we ended. Is the watchers were surprising you from your flanks, left and right, as you see ahead of you the larger reserve of the raiders, and there is a sandstorm coming up. So here's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to roll a d6. And that's how many rounds before the sandstorm becomes so bad that if you don't seek shelter, you're likely going to die. Each of the rounds that it lasts, the first round you're going to be at a -1, second round -2, -3 to hit because of the sand, making it very difficult to see or shoot missile weapons as well. So this is going to go 5 rounds before you're really going to need to seek shelter or bad things may happen. So I'm going to drag this, if it'll let me. Come on, roll 20. Drag that die out.
Is there shelter somewhere on this map that's
There
just
is
not visible
not.
yet?
There is
Oh,
no visible shelter. Okay,
they
well,
don't
it won't
have
let
a
me draw.
camp set up?
They have something set up.
I thought they
They
did
had
'cause
they had a fire here
Yep,
at least.
they do. They have a fire.
Oh, there was a cliffside. He mentioned like they
Mm-hmm.
were on a cliffside or something. Okay.
Well, shoot. Why is this not letting me? Did I turn that off? Dice options. Enable advanced dice. That was probably it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay, advanced dice are enabled.
I'm just gonna ask to be transported to another plane. Peace out. Let everybody else
So
get hit
you
by
missed
lightning.
last episode. So you actually were. It's the first time in a while that you've just
Mm.
kind of sidestepped, and you're going to pop right back in the middle of all of this.
Oh joy! I'm so
Yeah.
glad to be back.
Uh,
We have magics.
we need you.
You know it's bad. You know it's bad if Tristan is saying that to Gronwall.
There it
have-
goes.
I have a weird question.
Mm-hmm.
Being that I'm kind of adapted to the environment now, would Patty possibly have an inkling if is there such thing as a sand shark?
Oh, yes. There's definitely such thing as a sand shark.
Would that be considered a fish?
No.
Damn it!
It is
Oh.
not
Damn
a
it!
fish.
I was like, I have a loincloth of fish control and I know how to use it, but never mind. I was hoping.
Oh, wouldn't that be fun? But no.
Yes.
No. All right, so there is a shelf of rock that I'm just going to draw on right there. And that is kind of what they set up camp underneath. And you can see these dunes around them, right? So the wind is coming in from the west, shearing across to the east. So these dunes will give you some protection, but it's still whipping up a whole bunch of sand in here. That 5 I just dropped in the screen is a little reminder. That's how many rounds we've got until something bad happens. Let's see. I should probably...
Oh, I have to zoom out to see both of those things at the same time. Let's see.
I will say I'm bummed that last session I missed the opportunity to make a gin and juice pun. I'm just throwing it out there. Yeah. It's my greatest personal loss in a long time.
Keep in mind, Brendan, you mentioned off stream that
Yeah.
you were thinking of just doing the strength spell. I can only attack once per turn.
Okay.
So if you want to do that, sure. Otherwise, I think you might want to cast your spell casting on like summoning and distracting all of these enemies.
Well, there's not exactly time to go for tacticals just yet, as these
Yeah.
two groups,
Oh,
your
no.
left and right, got the jump on you. So they're going to unload their heavy crossbows.
They don't have a jump on us.
You did
Excuse
notice
me.
them. You did not notice them.
Yeah, we didn't. They snuck up on us.
Yep.
The ones in front we saw. The side ones.
Yep.
All right, okay. I was gonna say we rolled initiative last week.
Yeah.
And we got the initiative.
Yep. But they still got the jump on you, as in, like, you didn't know they were there.
We didn't know
before-
those
yeah.
two were there.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So yeah, go ahead and start it off. What are you guys doing? So they're basically to either side of you, 3 groups pop up out of the sand with heavy crossbows.
Okay.
And then in front of you, you can see the larger group of these nomads. They've just let loose the hounds, the puppers, the battle puppers, right there. War dogs.
Did they say a command?
Not that you heard.
Okay. Are these 5-foot squares?
They're 10-foot squares.
10-foot squares. And I can move how many feet around? It's
As a barbarian, you can move more than most, I believe, but it's based on
my
what you're
base
wearing.
My base is 15.
Yeah. Yeah, most
So
people
that's-
are around 12 if they've got armor on.
Okay, so I can go like
Less
40
if you're heavy.
feet, or I don't know. How many of these squares can I move then with 15 as my base? Is that 150 technically, or?
No.
Okay.
That's a good point. Since let's go ahead and heck with it. Let's just go ahead and shorten the square. Let's make them 5-foot squares. Then
Okay.
it's just there you go. That'll make it a little easier.
I'm just moving. I'm charging right into this group, so they're all in melee with me.
Okay.
Because
You
they
really
have crossbows.
yeah. 10, 15, 20. Well, for one, that's way too far. You can only move
Is that?
15. Yeah. So if
Okay.
they're 5-foot
so
squares, yeah.
3. Oh, okay. So I can only move that far.
Yep. And when you do charge like that, you can engage a foe. So like you can't engage a mass of people.
I just meant to like
Right,
get
yeah.
in the way, like
Yep.
in the 5-foot area of all of them. So I was like in the middle of them
Yep.
all. So can I charge and attack this one at
No,
the end then?
you do not have the speed for that. So
Okay.
15 is your movement.
Okay. So I'm here.
Yep.
All right. So he's about.
Technically, what happens is you get your speed broken up all 12 segments. So like if you have So if you have a 15 speed, that means each segment technically you move that far. So it
Each
like so it's
segment.
sorry, it's 10 segments, right? So
Oh.
15 is 150 total, and each segment you can move 15. Yeah, that yeah. So that's how it
Okay.
works, and it's important when you're using ranged against someone trying to close, because like if you go on segment 3 and they go on segment 4, you can't move your full 150. You can only move 3 segments worth before they get theirs. So let's see. Do we have it in the chat? What you rolled for your initiative?
3-1. 3 for we rolled a 3. You rolled a 1.
Okay, so you go on 1. So that means that before they go, you can move 45. So 15 each segment.
I can still attack or no?
So you can get there. So 3 is the 1, 2. So you'll get there on segment 3.
Okay, and then
Okay.
we just simultaneously attack,
Yeah.
or do I not attack?
Okay.
No, you can attack then, but yeah,
Okay.
that's pretty much how this works. It's like you're basically moving through those 3
Heard.
segments, right?
Got it. Okay. Yeah, so
All
I'm
right,
just
so you're
moving
charging
it for
them.
now.
Yeah, no problem. So next,
So, with the sandstorm visibility being what it is, can I see the mass of them ahead of us, like directly north of us?
right now the sand's only a -1 to visibility and everything, so yes, you can see them pretty well.
Okay, I've got my cloak up. That should provide me some difficulty for them seeing
Yes.
me. I'm going to cast Fireball, which is a 20-foot sphere.
What's the
and has-
range on it? 20-foot sphere, but what's the range?
The range is 100 foot plus 10 per level, so 180 feet.
You can
Yep,
hit
you can
all
reach
of
'em.
these people.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna get I think 20-foot sphere. Probably my best bet is like here-ish.
You want to hit the puppers? Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Just get rid of them from the start because they're gonna be fast and annoying. Yeah.
So how many segments does that take to cast?
3 segments.
So it won't go off until their turn.
Until they. Yeah, exactly.
All right, so you start casting now, Richard.
Well, I guess I'm gonna fall off of my camel that I'm riding. Well,
You've been actually being dragged behind your camel this whole time, but no one's noticed because you're always invisible.
I'm not invisible when we're riding a camel. That's what I was gonna say. And so I am gonna have to draw my or put away my invisible sword, seeing as I have to be holding it in order to be visible. So, put that away, draw out the other one, and then I guess, being invisible in this environment isn't exactly great because footsteps in the sand. So,
Yeah.
but still.
Yep.
And then I guess I will start to move towards the other group. I don't think I'll get there or anywhere.
So what are you wearing for armor?
Leather.
Okay.
I
so
haven't got much.
yeah, so it's 12-inch base move. So yeah, if you want to move 3 segments worth, you can do that. So 36,
they are so
almost.
close, so
yeah.
we'll be there on the third, second segment even. I don't know.
Which means you would, so you'd be moving through the second segment. You could attack on the second segment if you wanted to, so you can do that.
Yes, yeah, I do.
Okay. So yeah, they're all just like coming up out of the sand, rising out of the sand with these large crossbows, and they don't see you, of course, and they're trying to shoot at the larger group that's still over there. So what do you?
Bert,
like?
I take it all back. Charm monster on the sandstorm. No.
If only.
If only.
Stab somebody who's.
You can stab the closest one to you there. Go
I
ahead.
presume I stand right in front of the person who's about to shoot to try and stab them. So even if I miss, I will put my body between them and my body so that it would desperately.
You can
not take any
heroically
damage.
take that bolt, right?
Oh yes, that's exactly right.
One floating arrow in his invisible body as he tumbles back.
No, because if he's wearing it, it goes invisible, so he'd shoot and it'd just disappear. So he'd be
Magics.
like, "Oh, it went off into the sand."
You should just put your hand up and make him think that attacking us is futile. Just take a few bolts to the hand.
It'd only be when he looked down and saw the blood pooling.
I was gonna say say.
All right, make your attack. He
Amazing.
still gets his armor class, but he gets no dex bonus because he doesn't really see you.
All right, and I don't think I'm getting around the back of them to do a backstab, so this will be what it is. A 17 to hit with 7 damage against them.
Okay, yeah, 17 is more than enough, 7 points. And this one has... Okay, so he doesn't die, but you do hurt him. And now he's kind of keenly aware that there's someone there. Not necessarily what, who, or where, but there's someone there. All right, Thiber's not back, so we will go on. Let me think about this a minute. So technically your spell goes off on segment 3.
Right.
But they've got bows. So it would actually be... This is where weapon speed actually comes in. Because you are both going on segment 3.
Right.
Magic goes first, though, right?
No, not in this game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, not necessarily in this game. If it happens on the same segment, it goes by weapon speed versus caster's how many segments it takes. But I think it's fairly slow for heavy crossbow. Let's see, weapon speed. Oof, yeah. No, you'll get your spell off before they can fire.
Okay.
So go ahead and sure, do your damage, and let me see if any of the puppers survive.
25 damage.
20. Okay, here we go. Save. 2 in the middle save, but I don't think they've got enough hit points for even half of that. They don't. So you wipe out the puppers in one huge fireball.
As an animal lover, Grown Wolf hates to see it, but what are you going to do?
I wonder if I can do the...
I don't know, hot dog sounds nice.
You know what? I want to make a note if I can, while I still can see. Does it look like it carved a glassed out bit of earth that one could maybe hunker down in hole wise?
Oh, nice. I tell you what, make a luck check.
Okay.
That is a possible thing.
All right. I'm going to say low. Just over.
We have re-rolls.
You know what? I don't mind a reroll on that one. I find that kind of interesting.
Alright, cool.
23 low. Okay.
Okay, there is a sheet of glass there that you could maybe get underneath.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like concaved in right now, so we just flip it over and hide under it.
I see it and I say, Eureka, I am a glass cannon.
Okay, so that goes on 3, and so Patty, you clash into them on segment 3 as well, and this is where they saw you coming, so they will drop crossbows, pull scimitars. Scimitar has weapon speed of... What are you using as a weapon?
I'm using my maul. It's a speed of 8.
They're gonna get their attacks in first.
That's fine. Lay it on me.
Each of these is a +2, so first one is definitely going to hit.
Yep.
4 points of damage. Please make me a save versus poison.
Oh, of course it's poisoned.
You made it.
1 over.
4 points of damage. It's a very shallow cut, but you feel like the path of the blade burn, and then you crash into one of them. So you can go ahead and make your attack.
I don't get a bonus because I was like charging right now.
Well, you do actually. It's a +2, but you're also easier to hit as well.
That's fine. I'll take that.
Only that first one had any chance of hitting you. 14. So yeah, you're gonna hit. Which of the 3
damage.
did you hit?
This one, the furthest one back.
All right. So no, that does not kill him.
Okay.
Sure hurts him though. Sure hurts him.
I'm just gonna roar and have all my spittle blast into his face.
Okay. So these 2 back here that still have their crossbow is going to shoot at the obvious spellcaster that is Grown Wolf. You see these is +2. That 15 is going to hit.
Okay.
Do you have your hood up right now?
I do, yeah.
Okay, 5. Okay, well, actually, hold on. You got your hood up? Hold
Yeah.
on. Let me check something. It's still going to hit you. They got a +2,
Okay.
so that's a 20. Yeah, it's still going to hit. So 5 points of damage as one of the crossbows manages to get you, and make a save versus poison, please.
Okay. All right. Doing it. How uncivil.
Yeah, the rerolls.
Save
We're gonna
versus
need 'em.
poison.
It made it.
Saved.
Okay, same thing. I mean, it just kind of nicks you. It actually does more than just nick you. 5 points is
Yeah.
nothing to sneeze at. But you feel that burn, as you can tell it's laced with some kind of poison there. This guy in the front here is going to wildly swing, dropping his crossbow, going for a scimitar. It's going to wildly swing and try to hit Tristan. It's definitely going to miss.
Ah, the sandstorm snaves me with that -1.
Yes, yeah, that's exactly it. Not. All right, so puppers are all dead. So these guys are going to do their movement. 5, 10. That's segment 3. And 5, 10, 4, 5. Segment 5. These back here are going to fire it into basically Grown Wolf and Thyber and and Talina, who are all basically over there. I'm just going to do one on each. Each of these are +2. Ooh. Oof. You take another one, Grown Wolf. You've already successfully saved versus the poison, though, so it's just 2
Okay.
points of damage.
I
Would have been
say
enough
as
to
this,
ruin your spell, but...
Yeah.
and then...
As that happens, I say, "Oh, this poison is my usual vintage. I don't think I have to worry about it today."
And so, after firing the crossbows, they're dropping them and pulling their scimitars out. That's the end of theirs. This guy is going to cast... 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 50. Yes, it's going to cast Magic Missile.
Okay.
60, 70, 80, 90. Actually, no, he's not. He doesn't have the range. No, instead, he's going to cast Strength on this guy right here. So this is obviously a caster too. You see him make the signs in the air, and a bolt of power goes out to this one.
As much as I have cast strength, do I see it and I'm like, "Oh, you sneaky bastard!" Like,
No, because every caster casts differently. That's why you
Okay.
can't like just pick up somebody's spell book and read it without being able to
Okay.
read magic first and spend time with it. So it all looks different. He cast something on one of his friends there. So that's the first round. Okay, so we're spinning this down. Everybody's now at a -2, including them, as the sandstorm picks up a bit. And let's start at the bottom with Grown Wolf. Why don't you roll a d6 for your side? Is anybody casting?
Yes. 5 for them.
Yep. 2 for you guys. All right. So you start on segment 2.
All right.
So what are you casting?
I am casting Mirror Image.
Okay. How many segments?
That is a quick one, if I remember right. It's a 2-segmenter.
Okay, so it'll go off before their turn. Yep. Okay. Dion, you're in the midst of 3 of them over there. Actually, you know what? I didn't finish the other 2 last round. Sorry, those other 2 could
Okay.
have attacked you.
Yeah.
No, Dion, not you.
Oh.
Didn't
Not-
they all
not
attack
you.
me and miss?
No,
'Cause
you're
we
right. They
attacked at
did.
the same time?
I'm sorry. You're right.
No,
Okay,
it's
go ahead.
fine.
All right.
Go right ahead.
Smash. So it's a -2.
It's a -2 to the attack roll, not to the damage, just to the attack roll. So everything's getting in
Well.
your eyes. Oh wow, that's still gonna hit. Same guy.
Yeah.
All right, 11 points of damage. He's still not down.
Really? That's 19. Oh my god. Okay. Okay.
Okay, you're not minus now though for your AC since you came to a
Yeah.
halt about last round. So let's go over to Tristan. Guy's still kind of waving his scimitar around. He knows you're there, but he hasn't clued into where you are exactly.
Well, I'm glad he hasn't, because I kind of want to move around him and onto the next one.
Okay.
And stab the next one in there to try and distract them from shooting at my friends
Sure.
over there. Yes, I said friends, Grundolf. Even you.
Yeah. Thank you. I've missed you too in that planar realm. I've reconsidered our relationship.
All right, so you're also -2, but their armor class is less, so they don't get their dex bonus against you.
-2.
That's
An
still gonna
18,
hit.
even with the -2.
Yep.
So
All
yeah.
right, 7.
Oh, hitting both for 7 now. Haha.
Yeah, it doesn't take him out, but you definitely. Yep. So now they're all kind of just swinging their blades
What's going
around.
off?
Yep. That means Grown Wolf, your spell goes off. How many images pop up?
2. I have 2 extra of me.
2 extras of you go off. Okay. All right. So these 3 here are going to try and hit Tristan.
Probably will.
Nope. They have to roll a natural 20 at this point with the minus to be able to hit you as you're invisible.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. All right. Okay.
Over here, those 3 are going to attack Patty.
Bring it.
Oh, jeez.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You said these 3 over here are nomads.
Yep.
Would they be considered like the barbarian type?
No.
Damn it.
No.
Okay.
All right.
I
I have a
so-
leadership
Barbarian.
ability. I have a leadership ability of over other barbarians. I was hoping.
Okay, so these 3 are going to crash in. So Grown Wolf, what does your spell do? Do they have like a X% to hit the right one, or?
So let me double check. It's been a little while since I cast it. I'm pretty sure they just take the hits first blanket. Let me double check.
Okay, well, one of them actually ends up hitting Fiber.
Okay. Let me see. Mirror image.
What's damage? Okay. He saves versus poison. It takes a few points.
You know what? It actually, unlike other systems, it doesn't specify. I think it's just they have a chance to.
Yep. So
to pick
you
the wrong
have.
one.
You said how many more do you have?
2 more. So 3 of us total.
There's 3 of you. Okay, so I'm going to roll a d3. Number 3 is
Mhm.
you. Okay.
Okay.
The real you. So the first one hits a mirror image. Oh my gosh, hits the mirror image, which I think makes it dissipate. If it's hit.
Correct. Correct. And immediately goes away.
Yep. The next one, I'm going to still leave 3 though because it all attacks on the same round. Hits you, or at least attempts to. Is going to miss, I think. What's your AC?
My AC is a 2.
No, that's a way miss. Yep.
Okay.
So you have 1 more mirror image, so there are 2 of you there. Back here, these guys dropped their crossbows last round, and so they're going to spin. So we're on segment 5, so segment 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're not quite on anybody. And he is going to... He doesn't have range. He's got to move. 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So that is the end of the round. This spins down. Everyone's now at a -3 to hit. And the wind has really picked up. The sand is now abrasive on your skin. Like it's like tearing furrows on your skin. Right now, it's just painful, not causing damage, but that's going to change soon. Okay, Dion, roll a d6 for your side, and is anybody casting?
Yes.
I gave them a 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Are you casting or?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, what are you
Yeah.
casting?
Yeah, definitely.
What are you casting?
What am I casting? Fireball at our spicy friend in the back.
He's 3 segments.
Yep, 3 segments. Yep.
Okay, so that'll go off before they get to go. So, yeah, go ahead and cast it.
All right. 8d6. 30
Oh my
unless he
gosh.
saves.
He does not save.
I like
Oh
my
my
mages
gosh.
like I like my dogs, apparently. Flambéed. I saw him doing some little magically missile-y
Yeah.
things for a second in the air and thinking twice about it, so he's got to go.
Yeah, it's just a big explosion that leaves like a 3x3 grid of glass on the ground there.
So do we have a second thing of glass now
Yes.
Yeah.
that we could hide behind
Yep.
or under? All right.
Why don't you take yours, Tristan?
Sure. In which case, I want to leave these people who are now wildly swinging. I want to leave them wildly swinging at nothing that is there anymore, and move over to the other group that is right next to us,
Sure.
or right next to me. Just stab the next one.
Yep. You're -3 to hit.
Yeah. That's what we like. Lots of minuses to hit, though usually not for us. I'm thinking I should probably have a +2B hit, as I'm invisible. Well, I don't know. I was going to say I'm invisible in the storm, so maybe the sand is sticking to me or something. I don't know.
No, it's really fine.
But I guess it
yeah.
doesn't make sense. Wow, a 2. They don't
Yeah.
even know I'm there.
Not at all.
Uh,
Patty. oh, sorry.
I'll
Go
use
ahead.
a reroll. Go
Yeah.
on. I mean, we've
Yeah,
got
go ahead. You got a
hundreds
ton
and
of them.
thousands of
Do
them.
it.
So
Do
yeah.
it.
So -3. Hiya!
Oh,
Nice.
all right, 9 points of
Nice.
damage. This one really hurt this guy, but he's not down, but he's bleeding a lot.
Oh,
All right, Patty.
Yeah.
You got the one you've been attacking that looks pretty bad off. The other two are fresh.
yeah. Patty's like looking back at the group, seeing you guys are a little outnumbered.
Actually,
or at least-
5, 10, 15. You can't see more than 20 feet away. So, like, you
Oh.
don't even see the rest of the party.
yeah, he doesn't like that. So, I can move after attacking, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna swing. I'm gonna like look back, see that I can't see anyone. Look back
Now,
at this guy.
if you do attack and you retreat, you can't take a
AOs.
defensive. Yeah, so they're going to
I
be able
know.
to attack you back.
So it's a -3 right now.
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay. Whack. I'm gonna
That's gonna
re-roll
miss,
that.
yeah.
I'm gonna re-roll that. I want to make sure I hurt him. -3. That-
Still a miss.
Oh my god. I'm gonna do 4 for an auto success.
Okay. So just
And-
roll damage. So like, go ahead and re-roll it. Doesn't matter what the attack roll is. We'll just take the damage from the roll.
Okay. Alright. Bada bing. Bada bop.
9 points of
9.
damage. That's more than enough to kill that one. Finally,
Alright.
he goes
So I-
down.
Kill that one. And then
right.
Patty's just gonna scream out like, "Where are you?" And just slowly start heading each segment. I'm gonna start heading like back
Right.
towards where
Well,
I
they
came
both get
from.
attacks on you though because you can't
Yep.
defensively fight away now.
Yeah, that's fine.
Even with a -3, well, maybe not.
I'm at a 0 AC.
Yeah, so they've got +1, so they'd be 18. So a 15, and what did you say you were?
A 0. I think I'm at a 0 right now.
I need a 15 to hit you with a 4 hit die creature, so it hits.
Nice. Okay.
It's
Can't get
it's-
poisoned.
Yeah, 7 points of damage. 6
Oof.
plus 1. But you
Okay.
do finish your move though.
So I can keep moving 15 more feet, or the full 15 or whatever.
You can move.
'Cause
Yes,
it's
you
each
can.
segment?
Yeah, it's each segment.
Yeah.
So up until segment 5. So you
So I'm
started. You got
moving-
4 segments worth.
Okay, so I move about this much. Like I move
Sure.
back to the group. I get here, and then I see Grown Wolf, and I'm moving up. And actually, I have one more segment, so I'm gonna move up here.
Okay. I think that's
Be like-
everybody's move. Okay, yeah, sounds good. Now their turn. These 3. No, they're just gonna move in. They don't, Tristan. They're just giving up. They're not seeing you around, of course, but they see a new threat come in. This big barbarian. So these 3 are going to attack you, Patty. These 2 are also going to help attack, so they're going to get a little flanking bonus here. This
All right.
one is going to wave around, so you just stabbed him real bad, Tristan. But unless they get a natural 20, which they do not, just a wasted attack. All right, here you go, Patty. 5 of them on you.
Yep. Let's
And
go.
the flanking bonus does not completely negate the -3, but that 20 and that
hits.
16 are going to hit you.
All
Yeah.
right. Patty
So
also.
6
Patty's gonna eat these hits and,
and 8.
look back and to Grownwolf and just say, "Fireball me!" Like
No,
fireball
no.
him,
Oh,
like
no.
centered on him.
Uh,
So you did 16.
14.
Oh, 14.
14 points of damage.
I'm totally.
Do you
fine.
really tell me to do that?
He tells
Yep.
you in character. He's surrounded
Alright.
and eating these hits, and he just says, "Fireball me!
Okay.
All right, so
Show me your
Wolf,
magics."
two of them are engaging with yourself and your mirror image. So a 2 is you, the 1 is your
Okay.
mirror image. So
They got me.
no, it misses. So your mirror image doesn't dissipate. The second
Okay.
one does hit you or does target you.
Right.
Oh, what's your AC?
2.
15. That's going to hit. Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna say for
That's
safety.
not. Don't. I misread that.
Was
For
nice
5
knowing
points
everyone.
of damage. 5 points of
Okay.
damage. And the last one is going to hit or try to hit Thyber, but misses. Okay. Now these guys over here, that one's dead. These two. Let's see.
They can't see. They can't see. And they
John
drop
Cena.
their crossbows.
Well, they already had their swords out when they were fighting
Yeah,
you, so
no, I
they'll run
know.
in
That's
and
funny.
they'll attack Thyber. Actually, one on Thyber, one on Talina. With the penalty, that's going to miss Thyber. And it's going to miss Talina too, actually.
Nice.
Okay.
Huzzah!
All right, so that's the end of this round. Now the wind has whipped up. I mean, it's bad now. At this point, everybody's at a -4 to hit, and you're going to take a D4 damage this round each
Okay.
from just the abrasiveness of the sand. You can only see 5 feet, 1 square in front of you at this point. All right, Richard, roll for your side. Is anybody casting?
Yeah, I'm casting.
Oh, shoot.
I have also rolled a 5.
Nice.
5s for every round. No!
Oh, finally.
All right, so this is the one that has strength cast on him, and he's going to bring the beat down to Patty. We'll start there. The rest of these are also
Alright.
attacking you as well, Patty.
Oh, strength stays on even if the caster's dead?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So that's definitely not going to be... I mean, they basically got you surrounded, but
Yeah.
the penalty is so bad now that it really doesn't do much. Okay, so that's going to miss for him, and then the other 4. Oh, that 18 might actually hit you.
It's a 0 to hit.
15, 14. Nope, he misses. Yeah, the sand is just so bad. The one is still just kind of flailing around trying to hit Tristan and misses. Now here's the one that's going to matter. Grownwolf. Okay,
Yeah.
2 of them are on you. Your image number 2. First one goes for your mirror image. Oh, he hits and kills your mirror image as it vanishes around him. So no more mirror images. And the second
Okay.
one, still, it happens on the same round, so he still might have hit that one too. Nope. He has a chance of hitting you.
Oof.
Mm.
Oof.
So that does not disrupt your spell.
Here's the thing. That might actually be a negative because I'm going to do what Patty told me to do.
As soon as everyone, if it's clear,
Yep.
just nuke them.
And the one that was on Thyber, well, see, the thing is, if he nukes you, he's also going to nuke Tristan, Thyber, and
Yeah.
Talina,
Yeah.
too. He's going to nuke
I mean, unless
everybody.
they move out of the way.
He's going
they
to nuke
get
himself
nuke
as
first.
well.
Yeah.
Well, not
Well, it's a-
necessarily. He could cast it further out and just catch
That-
you in the edge. Yeah.
That's kind of what
Yeah.
I'm thinking. But do you think, Bert, I could do that with the visibility as low as it is? Like get a sense of
That's
the
a good.
distance?
I tell you what, you can cast, and I'll make you
Okay.
do a luck roll.
Okay.
Because everybody knows the spellcasters see the whole world in 5-foot grids. So
Yeah. That's right. You take away my Matrix view of the grid. Woman in red dress. I'm fucked.
All right, so let's do it. High or
Okay.
low. Let's see if you're going to be able to get the ranging right. So
All right.
if you fail, you still have to cast it, but the range is
Yeah.
wrong. I mean,
And
I'm
you know
going to
what?
do a scatter. Is what I'm going to do.
Okay, and that's fair. And you know what? To make it fair, I'm gonna not use a reroll on this, and I'm
Okay.
gonna say low. Okay. Oof, okay.
All So you're doing it so just the edge basically
Yeah.
catches right on him. So it's a
Yeah.
3 hex. It'll get the hex. It'll get this guy, this guy, this guy in front of you, and everybody behind him. But it won't get
Okay.
this. Yeah, actually, it will get this guy.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well.
5, 10, 20. Yeah, it will.
Okay. 8d6.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. Let's see. 20. Well, this first one actually. So how much damage? 14 points. I don't think he can even take 14. Nope, he's dead anyway. He saved, but no
Is
good.
it a dex save?
No good. This last one here also saves.
It's a save
Still
versus,
can't
spells.
take it. Yep, still
Oh,
can't take
okay.
it. And everybody else is just dead. So these.
I succeed. Only 12 damage.
And that guy's also
Patty's
dead.
not even halved yet, and he just kind of coughs out a puff of like
Okay.
soot and just is covered in soot and ash. He just looks over and goes, "That's all you got?"
All right.
I see 2 patties, as one is reflected perfectly in the bottom of the glass that he's standing
Mhm.
on.
Tristan, what are you doing?
All right. Well, I mean, right there, the person right in front of me needs to be put down, I guess. I mean, maybe they don't, but they're going down anyway.
Okay, with the
Nah,
minus
a
it doesn't,
13.
but here's the thing.
That is
Everybo-
with the minus already.
Everybody
Factored
go.
that in.
Oh, it is. Attack 13.
It doesn't matter whether. Yeah, we miss. That's fine.
Do
Onwards.
Well, no,
Or
this is
for
the
an
funny.
auto
Here's the funny
success.
thing, though.
Oh.
No, it doesn't miss. It actually does hit him because he can't see you.
Yeah.
It doesn't quite kill him, but the sand damage finishes him off.
Oh yeah,
Nobody
But
will
all
know
the-
that it wasn't me.
Yeah, all the rest
Only
of you
I.
take a D4 damage as well. He only had 1 hit point left after that, and the sand takes care of that.
That's great. Okay, so 1.
Do I have to take this damage? Can
Yeah.
the sand see me?
Yes, the sand can definitely see you.
That's adorable.
All right.
I like that.
Well, I guess I'll blindly fumble my way back towards my friends as well.
Careful on the slick earth of the glass before you.
Okay, yeah, it's because you can't see, so you're just kind of fumbling in that direction. And luckily, you saw the fireball go off right there, so you've got some general idea of where they are.
I mean, I felt the heat, if nothing else.
Patty's hollering the whole time. He's
Okay.
just screaming so you can hear where he is. He's
You've got-
"Ah!"
You're now, so you're now -5 to see and to hit anything, and you've got 1 round to be able to get to some kind of cover, or it's going to be really bad.
Yep.
One of their guys is still here.
It's one of the nomads though, right?
It is, and
Okay.
he is.
Would he even know his buddies are dead? Because
No, he can't see
Yeah,
anything.
yeah,
The
that's
only
what I
thing he
mean,
can
like the-
see actually is Oak. The Oak's the closest thing to him. So he would just attack. Honestly, he didn't.
Yeah.
He's gonna miss.
I'm gonna. Okay. All right. So we have this big thing of glass.
I didn't
under
roll
me.
initiative just because he was just gonna attack
Mhm.
the thing he could see, which doesn't influence any of you guys. So
Yeah.
what you've
So-
got this round? What are you gonna do?
I'm flipping this glass disc I'm standing on over,
Mm-hmm.
so
was
it's
gonna-
like a dome.
Yeah, I was gonna cast strength on you too. That was my plan, was to cast strength on everybody so that we could move these glass pieces to create a shelter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna flip it over and like hold it up, and I moved next to this guy, so he strikes Tybor. I kind of realize he's like the only one left because everyone else just got eviscerated in front of me, And Patty's literally just gonna grab him and go, "Your life isn't worth it. Stop!" Just throws him under the dome with us and be
Okay.
like, "Cut it out!" And like,
All right. So I'm just going to put all of your characters under the dome. Now, here's the thing. The dome isn't big enough to keep all of your camels and if you had horses under as well. Are you going to do anything for them? You've
there
got
was a
just
second
this-
one right here, right?
Yes, I mean, I was. I mean, I didn't know exactly what was going to go on here, and I thought the plan was to go towards the cliff, if we can even. I mean,
We
so
don't
I
have
was.
time.
If I cast strength, we could basically all just lift the dome and walk it over to anything else.
Yeah. Yeah, so what's the plan? I mean, you have one action before it really hits.
I mean, we have this other glass dome that's nearby, and you saw it, right, Richard?
Well, I
When
know the-
he first fireballed it, it was
I
over.
think I saw it. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think I
but
still had
he
visibility
doesn't
at that
necessarily know where it is now because
point, and it's
Yeah.
covered
yeah.
under sand.
Unless you want to. Do you have another fireball?
I
Brendan?
don't. I'm out of them. I will say the plan for me, regardless of what we do after, was to cast strength on one of you and probably Patty to start.
Okay,
That
so
might
Patty, you
be-
get strength cast on you, so you can definitely
Okay.
move this glass around.
Is
Now
it
it's
a
not a
D8
it's
that
not
I
a
roll?
dome, but it is kind of curved at the edges. So I mean, it still can do what you want it to do, but don't think of it as a dome. It's not that precise.
Right. Okay. Is it a D8 that I roll when you do strength, or a D6?
I think D6 plus 1.
D6 plus 1.
I'll double check.
7 if it
Oh
is.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're good to go.
Okay, so that puts my strength at a 25,
Mhm.
and that means, let me look at my notes here.
I wish I had enlarge. I would just cast enlarge on the glass.
25 is Titan strength. That's the highest on the chart. I
Yep.
can't go any further. Oh my god.
So you can definitely lift the glass. So again, are you
714.
doing anything about your camels or no?
You said it's not big enough to help them anyway.
There's not enough room under it for everyone and your camels.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna whistle for them to follow us as best as they could until
they
we
even
get to
hear?
I'm gonna try.
They don't. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I
Tristan.
was going to say, so I go rummaging in our pack,
Okay.
and I pull out one of the ion stones,
All right.
the bright rose-colored cat's eye one, which allows telepathic communication
Ah.
with targets within 30 foot.
Yeah. Okay.
And this way, come on, camels, this direction.
Thabor comes
Okay.
in swinging.
We're all safe, Thumber. What are you doing?
So Thyber took a little bit of damage, but nothing bad. You're fine.
Sorry about that, and I'm back.
No problem. So the camels are following you, but again, they can't fit underneath the glass.
Right. I
Mhm.
get that, but we
Right.
can walk the glass towards
Yes.
the cliff now, right?
Yes.
I hand the hold up the glass part thing with one hand and pull the tent tarp out with the other and hand it to Oak and say, "Protect the camels." Because it's at least something that if you like spread it out, you could like maybe, I don't know. It's a thought. He's just thinking of the camels.
Okay.
What's the situation?
Sandstorm is
Sandstorm.
really bad.
Oh, okay, where we picked up.
Fireball made a little glass concave that we have flipped up and used as like a shield, and are
Nice.
currently like, I'm carrying it with a strength spell on me. I have Titan strength right now, and I'm just carrying this little bowl above us. And I handed you a tarp to try and save the camels because it can only cover
Okay.
us, really, not all the camels too.
All right. So you did have enough time in the segment to reach there.
Okay.
I did it at Patty's speed, moving the dome.
Nice.
All right. So you guys are, I mean, you can't see anything past the dome, and you can see the dome itself is being scoured. So, like, pretty quickly, it's no longer see-through. It just becomes like kind of milky, opaque, so it's just scratched over by all of this desert sand.
That's gonna be so
Um,
pretty.
The camels and the horse do get some help from this overhang here, but you can see that they're quickly getting buried by the sand. But they're
Mhm.
not. It's not so bad that, like, if this doesn't last too long, they'll be okay.
Hmm.
I'm going to, while we're under here, cast monster summoning to see if anything can show up that can help us in this situation.
Sand shark, sand shark, sand shark, sand
Okay, I'll
shark.
tell you what. Roll me a d6.
Okay, all right.
Okay, this is
Just a-
initiative.
a
I wanted to see if
sandworm
something else
appears.
happened before you could cast.
Okay.
All right, so my thing will happen first.
Okay. Shit.
Let's see,
Oh,
who's
no.
under the dome? We got Patty. I'm not going to put Talina in here. That would be bad if Jeff wasn't here. So one, two. So Patty's 1, Tristan's 2, Groenwolf's 3, Thyber's 4.
Thanks, Jameis.
Yeah, this is what Jameis. Oh wow, just in time, Thyber.
I'm a lucky contestant, huh?
Yes, and you didn't get the strength cast on you. So,
Yeah.
make me a strength check.
That would be a no.
Okay.
We have rerolls.
Do we have enough to be wasting on stuff?
I have 150.
You know what? No, I want to see how this plays out. No, I failed it.
Okay.
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 Yeah.
So,
Thank you.
Groenwolf, you prepare to cast, and Thyber is kind of just looking around for a minute, and then he's yanked below the surface of the sand.
Oh no.
He's just gone.
Do they notice it though?
Oh yeah, yeah.
God.
So
right
inside the
next-
dome, you can see each other just fine. You just can't see anything outside of it.
Oh.
Does that change what you're going to do, Friendon?
Yeah. I'm thinking for just a second.
Is
You
this
also hear the bleat of a camel that's quickly silenced outside as well.
Is there like a reflection in this glass I'm holding up?
A reflection?
Like, is it reflective or no?
No,
Okay.
it really isn't.
So in this instance, like meta gaming just a little bit because I just don't know what the character would know.
Mm-hmm.
I have about a 60-foot range on Charm Monster.
Mhm.
Would I be able to cast into the earth into the last known position of? Would I know that would work, or would it be a waste?
No, well, I mean, if that's the closest monster to you, and your monster summoning is powerful enough, you would know that that's what would be
Okay.
drawn.
Well, I've got Charm Monster. Sorry, that's what I meant to say. Charm Monster at 60
okay.
feet.
You have to be
So-
able to see the monster. For
Okay,
that
okay.
to- yeah.
Okay. Then I would know that's not going to work. So I think I'm just going to not cast Monster Well, I think I'm going to go ahead and cancel Monster Summoning to try to help us at this point anyway, still.
Okay.
Monster Summoning 2.
So at this level, what can be summoned?
It's things akin to a giant centipede, a devil lemur, a knoll, a giant toad, a troglodyte, stuff like that.
Okay.
And I can summon up to 1d6 of them, so I'll roll that.
Pancakes,
it's-
boulets, sand sharks,
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly. Giant herpes. Sorry, harpies. No.
Giant herpes.
So
no!
yeah. Ugh, bumpy.
Oh, don't worry. The harpy I slept with didn't give me anything. We rolled.
So it's going to take 4 rounds, and it's 3 of them.
Okay. This is interesting. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So you get that off. Meanwhile, Thyber, roll initiative. Okay. Well, you have initiative on it. You're being pulled underneath this very silt-like sand. Something has gotten a hold of your booted foot and is dragging you under.
I was holding that pole, so I'm trying to climb that pole and grab hold of the tarp to start pulling myself out.
Okay. Make me a strength check.
That would be a critical success. I got a
Critical
16.
success. Okay. So yeah, you manage to grab part of that pole and you start pulling yourself out. So what you guys see is you see Thyber's fist break the sand underneath the glass, and he gets a hold of one of these tent stakes and he starts to pull himself up. And as he's doing this, inside the glass you see like a shark fin come up out of the sand.
Man
Fishy,
shark.
fishy, 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 fishy.
Can you talk to it?
No, I already
Alright.
asked out of
Yeah,
character.
well, I see the fin. I'm like, tell it to get off of me.
All
You
right,
know
so
what?
looking at
Patty
it, Patty.
would in character try.
Well, hold on. This is just kind of your Thiber and this thing's round kind of first. So it's
Mhm.
going to attack now. Thiber, it's going to miss. So this fin kind of breaches the sand underneath your dome with you. So you do see it before it dives back down.
I'm gonna try and use my loincloth of fish command.
Why don't you roll a d6? And this
All right.
time everybody can get in on this. You
4.
have just cast Grown Wolf. So are you going to cast again? Anything else? This will be the second round after you cast.
Unless I can see it, there's not too much I can do to it casting. So I'm just going to be ready with my Mage Slayer crossbow.
Sure. Simultaneous rounds.
Here you go, Patty. Pupper cam.
Oh,
There you go.
I love him so
It's
much.
the sand shark.
Okay. So there's
It's a
only
vicious
one of
moment.
these fins inside of your dome, but you kind of get the idea because you can hear your camel screaming out there that there's more of them around you.
He's so cute. I'm gonna try and use the loincloth of fish command because Patty in character would try this. I have to play true to him.
Yeah, that's fine. Unfortunately, yes, it's not a fish.
I
You
pelvic
try-
thrust and go fishy, fishy, fishy because that's how he controls fish. I don't know how else to activate a loincloth of fish control, man. I mean,
You just gotta dangle your bits around and it attracts
Yeah,
fish.
so you like
Go for it.
flapping your
It's a
tarp
worm.
around.
yeah, so that's not gonna work. He's still holding the dome up while doing it, so it's like some weird twerking gyration.
All right. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Hypnotized by the gyration, Grown Wolf drops his magic
Exactly.
crossbow to the
Yeah,
floor.
we all stand mesmerized.
I'm just gonna be prepared to fire. I don't know what else to do at this point because
Yep.
everything else is gonna wait for those monsters.
You
to show
can,
up,
yeah, you
basically.
can fire. I mean, the fin is kind of sporadically breaching inside of here, so
Okay.
you can kind of trace its path if you want to fire. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. Doing that now.
Is it to, can I
Oof.
grab my two-hander to attack, or is it not available
It's
after being pulled
available.
under?
No, it's still on you. You're fine.
Okay, I rolled low.
Yeah,
low
it's
as
gonna
hell.
miss. You hear the sounds of shattering glass as your bolt breaks a little bit of the glass.
Whoops.
All right, Fiber, you wanted to take a swing at it?
Yeah, I'm going to say that scrambling to my feet and trying to get my bearings, I can only get one attack off.
Mm-hmm.
16 will hit a -3.
It hits 10 points of damage. You hit something
Unless it's large.
you hit something very solid, almost rock-like. So like you kind of cut down just like a foot or two just past the fin. But your blade does come back up bloody. It seems to be kind of armored with something or other. Very rock-like skin. Tristan?
Hard, but it can bleed.
I mean, I've no idea how these things sense through the sand.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of want to attract them all towards us. So I'm going to do the only things I can think of, which is sort of stamp rhythmically, and also cut myself so that I bleed onto the sand. Because
So
I don't know.
you're gonna bleed onto the sand and you're gonna become a thumper. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't particularly want them to eat the rest of our horses, etc., with our supplies on it. So yeah.
And actually, I am wrong. It takes a little bit more damage. It is size large. So, yeah, it takes the 12 and not the 10. Okay. That means that you're the target of its attack because it works. It is attracted by the thumping of the
Huzzah!
sound. Yeah.
I'm so happy.
So its attack. Let's see.
Richard, I just want to say
Oh
thank
my
you
gosh.
for your sacrifice and that you will not be forgotten, at least until the next episode.
What's
We'll,
your
uh,
armor?
we'll write-
I
What's your
have
armor
the
class?
bag of holding, so
Oh
will
no!
not
Save
be
save
forgotten at
save
all.
Tristan.
What's your armor class?
I've got a 4.
Oh my gosh, that hits.
right.
Oh man. Okay. Okay, so number 3 tracks. Okay, so it's first. Oh my gosh.
Not the bag of holding. I mean Tristan.
Okay. You're making a lot of noise, and you bled on the sand. Take 11 points of damage as like it grabs your foot and ankle, and it just bites down and just yanks you into the ground. You're not completely under; it's just pulling you into the sand. But it's got its mouth on you, and it's kind of just worrying at that leg.
I need that leg. for
Yep, and
walking.
you're possibly.
Upper's
You
recreating the
drew
attack.
more. Nope, didn't draw any of them from the outside. There's so much the windstorm is. There's more loud noises out there than in here. So the camels are bleeding, making all kinds
Oh,
of
dear.
noise. Okay, Patty. Now you're holding the dome, so there's not a lot you can do.
Could you lean it against the cliff?
Yeah, can I like prop it up against the cliff wall?
Yeah, everybody will have to kind of duck down a little bit, but yeah.
And then can I like swing my maul at one of these? Can I play like ground like
Yeah.
what's it called? Whack-a-mole?
Yep.
Whack-a-shark?
Like I said, it occasionally breaches the surface, so you have a target.
You know what? Even better. I'm gonna throw my maul at it. when I
You're
get
kind
the
of in a really
chance.
tight, confined space.
Okay, we'll just go for the. Oh yeah, I have
Yeah.
strength on me though. I have a +7 to hit. Never
Yeah, if you
mind.
want
We're
to
gonna-
throw, if you miss, you're just going to shatter the dome. It's up to you.
No, I'm gonna swing. All right, I got a massive bonus to this. So
Swing so
let's
hard when it hits, he just makes another
go.
dome.
20 damage.
All right, what armor class do you actually hit, though?
I hit a -15.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I think
20
it's
points
a
of damage.
-15 following that.
Okay, I tell you what. I'm going to actually roll out its hit dice. That. Okay. No, it's still alive.
Okay.
So you did 20 points and then 12 points from 32. Okay, yeah, it's still alive. Tristan's been pulled down into the sand a bit. You can still act, Tristan. Like you're down to like maybe top of your thigh, and it's just really biting down, excruciatingly painful on that one leg.
This was a mistake.
Yep. Right. So next round, let's have Tristan roll it for your side.
I think. Uh-oh.
Is the nomad helping us?
He's kind of just in shock. He's not helping you, but he's not hindering you either. Okay, you guys going forward. He goes on 1. So, okay, this is not
Am
gonna be
casting.
pleasant. Okay.
Even with the disparity, I'm still casting.
What is that? That's plus. What would I roll for that? Oh, okay, I see. All right.
Oh no. Oh
Just
no.
call it 1 point of damage, and we'll call it a day.
Now this is something else first. Okay.
Oh no.
How many hit points do you have, Tristan?
32.
All right. It pulls you down like up to your shoulder blades. I have to actually.
Uh-oh.
That's not how much damage you take, but I've got to do enough in a roll to actually go over your hit points. So you're not completely pulled down.
So you wanted to know my current hit points there,
Current
right?
hit points, yeah.
Yep, good.
But it does do another 9 points of damage. So see, eventually it'll pull you under because it reduces your hit points.
Yep. I mean, it's very effective.
And now, yeah, it still hasn't attracted any more of its brethren. They're out there harassing your camels. So your guys' turn.
Smash.
Okay.
Charm.
Okay. Let me think about this for a minute. So you're casting charm creature or charm animal?
Charm monster, yeah.
A charm monster. Okay.
Yeah.
Does it have any things that specifically states it can't charm?
So it gives me the hit dice levels for chances of them to save.
What's 9?
9 is it's between a 45 and 60% chance because it says 8 is 45, 10 is 60. So it's like a coin flip for it.
Nope, doesn't save.
Okay.
Whew.
Oof. Well, the one on Tristan is the one that I was targeting because
Yes.
I don't want my squishy little buddy to die.
Okay, you've charmed the monster. Now, what does the charm allow you to do? You can't communicate with it, other
No.
than simple.
Tristan has the telepathic Ion Stone.
It treats me as friendly, and an ally or companion is treated as well or guarded from harm.
It spits Tristan out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those things where if communication is possible, the charmed creature will follow reasonable requests, but it would have to understand me.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it spat Tristan out, and it stopped moving, so its fin is just sticking up in the sand with most of it buried, and then 4 more fins kind of emerge. This is your summon monster.
Oh yeah.
So there are 5 of these things inside here with you, making it quite cramped. And you guys, there's so many of them actually that you guys can kind of feel the sand shift beneath you. Like you're actually standing on the backs of some of these, is what you feel like.
I'm hoping that the ones I summoned are a different color as to denote their friend.
We see their health bars are yellow. They're not red.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The fins are wagging.
Perfect. Yeah, if I have a chance to also do that this round, I would tell them to protect us.
To protect you. Okay. So the fins kind of go to the extreme edges of the glass, and they kind of start circling.
Oh my
Nice.
God, I love it.
Okay.
Gonna cut a hole down to the center of the earth.
All
right,
This is the worst.
You guys stop hearing the camels bleeding, and pretty soon you don't hear the wind howling anymore. Now, you cannot see out of this dome at all. The wind has scoured it completely so that it is not see-through anymore. But
Can
you don't
we hear?
You don't
No.
hear the wind moving. You do hear your camels out there, or at least some of them.
So I don't hear the sand buffeting the glass anymore.
You don't.
Jump it forwards away
Don't-
from us.
No, wait. We might just be in the eye.
Camels!
We might be in the eye of the storm.
You know, Bert, whether or not you intended it, this is the first Sharknado session of AD&D I've ever played.
Sharknado!
Woo!
All right. So you pop it off. You notice that you're missing 2 camels, but you also took 2 extra.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so like the fins continue to circle, although they spread out more, and the whole area is now covered in several feet of sand. So like all these bodies out here are gone. Like you can't see the bodies anymore.
But you know who can find the bodies?
The sharks.
Yeah, our new pals.
Oh, bring them back. Bring the mage. Oh no, the mage got eviscerated into flames. There's nothing. left.
Well, I mean,
So,
there might be stuff on there.
the whole plain has been leveled out, so like you can't even see the dunes anymore.
Okay.
The only thing that you notice is over here.
Or where?
Here, right
Let's
here.
zoom out.
There is a person in long robes just standing on the surface of this very shifty, very light sand, facing away from you.
Away.
Away, not facing towards you.
And they're over here.
Yep. Here, I'll
Alright.
just go to grab one of these guys. So like right there.
Okay.
Dressed in long, raggedy robes.
I'm going to whisper to the crew. Should I command my shock buddies to grab that person and bring him here?
Hold on 1 minute.
Be amusing, but the Wanderer from Diablo.
And Patty calls out.
Yeah. You call out. It's silent, by the way, like with the sand not blowing The wind's not shrieking. It's like
Yeah.
completely silent. So your voice
We can't see the
carries-
sandstorm at all now, can we?
No.
It's like it's completely dissipated. It's
gone,
not
yeah.
moved on.
Yep,
Right.
it's just dissipated. So he doesn't react. He's just standing, raggedy robes kind of blowing a little bit in the wind, and he's just not reacting.
Hey!
Really, what's the harm? And then I tell the sharks to go.
Okay.
And see if they can drag him back to us since he's ignoring us,
So-
or they're ignoring us.
You see, like, the fins all head in this direction, and as they get close to the guy, you see the fins go lower and lower into the sand until they're gone. And then you see it's like one of them breaches, like right up from underneath this guy, goes through him without phasing him, drops back in. You see several of them kind of going through him. They're not interacting with whatever it is.
Like,
They come back
through-
dejected, not able to fulfill what you ask.
I pat them on their fins.
I'm gonna go over at that point. Patty's just walking over and is gonna be like, "Teach me your magics," gently behind him.
Okay, so you get close. Once you're just a few steps away, he turns around, and it's a wizened old man. His skin like very sunburned and tight to his skull, almost cadaverous, and like these pale eyes that are milky, as if perhaps he's blind. Look at you. Okay, this is a bit of a speech. This is something that a lot of these early editions did. So
Okay.
let me have a drink of water before I get into this.
I will also do so in solidarity.
I did so in advance. We need to pour water into our ears to clean them out before the speech as well.
I'm ready for your monologue.
Right, so in a low, kind of creaky, crackly voice that does not carry very far. So unless anyone else came out with Patty's the only one that's going to be able to hear this.
No, no.
Don't worry, I can mimic the entire thing
Yeah.
back.
Mimicry and memory
Are
are
not
exactly
the same thing.
Neither
And
is
also,
understanding.
you can see the sun kind of shining through bits of them, so he's a little transparent as well, almost ghostly. So he starts in. He says, "I am Amun-Ra, son of Takish-Ra, of the house of Mo-Palar. These rags you see are but my shadow, which has walked these lands for time uncounted, in search of mighty men of valor to plead for their aid. In my time, when I was pharaoh of these lands before you, it was a green and beautiful land, blessed by the gods of heaven westward, with a wonderful spring that gave life to our land and nurture to our crops. Yet robbers did raid the tombs of my forefathers and take from them tokens of their passage into the lands of the dead, thus keeping them from their reward in the afterlife. I swore that at all cost I would not fall prey to their evil deeds. So it was that I made mighty and terrible war upon my neighbor lands, plundering their wealth for my own passage. I did enter contract with a great mage who did work a mighty wonder, and upon the sweat and blood of my people did I build a theft-proof tomb." Yeah, there's his first problem. "My people turned against me with bitter hatred. I not only robbed our borderlands, but did tax and plunder my own people, and take from them their wealth. They rose up in anger, demanding their gold and precious gems, their lives and freedom, but I cursed them, saying, 'By the ruling staff and the star gem of Mo-Palar, I curse you. Threaten not my life, for by these implements of my power and holy name of Osiris will the stopping of my heart also stop the spring of Aethys from their life-giving flow. If the river stops, so shall your lands wither in the wilderness. This do I swear by Osiris's holy name and these implements.' From a sea of upraised fists before me rose one with a spear. The shaft sped from the darkness, and so, that night, did the spring of Aethys stop its flow. In death, my spirit gleefully approached my pyramid, but Osiris stopped my spirit from entering the tomb. For, said he, your monument to life was to be to the benefit you brought to the people under your stewardship, not this edifice of stone. As you looked only to your death in life, so shall you look only to your life in death. I am bound to fulfill your curse, for you have called it down with power in my name. But I do curse you, Amun-Ra, that you shall not enter this tomb where all the implements of your voyage to heaven, until some mortal soul does despoil this place, taking your staff of ruling and the star gem of Mopalar from your theft-proof tomb. I have even talked with the wind in the hopes of help, but uncounted seasons have passed and my kingdom is not now to be seen in these desert lands. Sorry, there was a break in the text. Save for my tomb, which stands now as then. Many have tried, I trust, and none have succeeded. My wealth is thine, if thou can be undo this thing that I have done. Remove both my staff of ruling and the star gem from my tomb, that you may have wealth and release me. Follow my path to wealth or woe, to thy destiny or doom. And having imparted this, like if you try and speak during any of this, he just keeps going. Almost like a recording. But after having delivered his speech, he starts slowly walking off into the desert.
Okay, bye. I go back to the group.
Yeah, so how do you condense this? What do you say, Patty?
There's treasure.
I was thinking in my head, blah, 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 treasure.
He just says there's treasure.
But I love the idea while you're conversing with this entity, this spirit, this cursed spirit. All of us are just nonchalantly stabbing the one nomad that's left, just like in the back of his neck, like.
No, I want him to
kill him just yet.
live. Maybe the nomad people will thank us for sparing him.
Okay, all right. I
We
won't
saved
stab
him from the sandstorm.
Okay,
We did
well,
a good thing.
I do like the idea of treasure, and I have one relatively permanently charged sand shark to take with us.
I look to the nomad and I go, "Where is the tomb of Amun-Ra?"
He speaks to you, or at least tries to. It's not a language you understand, but he's shaking his head as he's talking and doing the shrug, like.
I look to Tristan.
He
And
wants to
the
be helpful,
stone.
as you are
I point to the
frightening.
stone flying around your head, and I go, "You talk to him. Ask him where tomb of Amun-Ra is."
Yeah, I guess that bypasses languages.
Yep.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yep.
Hey, can you hear me? Can you understand me?
Ah! There's a lot of
It's
screaming.
me. I'm talking. I'm pointing at my face right now. See this one, not the others.
Are you a djinn? Are you an evil spirit?
You know about magic that exists in the world. You've seen it before. I'm just an ordinary human.
Magics
who
are given
happens
by
to
the
been raised
djinn.
by a dragon and can talk to you in your mind.
He's making
Also,
all
I can go
kinds of
invisible.
signs against the evil.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, you can speak to him this way. He's quite
Tomb of
frightened.
Amun-Ra, I understood my friend to ask you about. Do you know where
Middle
that
of the
is?
desert, lost for all time.
Yeah, congratulations. You get to lead us there.
Shakes his head. I don't know where it is. My forefathers, we have been elected to protect the holy places in this land from despoilers such as you. I'd soon as
Tell us.
die than lead you to a tomb. I don't know where the tomb is, though.
You get to lead us to somebody who can lead us to the tomb.
I tell Tristan, tell him Amun-Ra's ghost asked us to save it by stealing from his tomb.
Apparently that was Amun-Ra's ghost out there. And we're meant to despoil it. He's just charged us with that.
Give me a charisma check.
Well, okay, I'm not as bad. I'm not as bad as I am when I'm Fig Jam. Yeah, that's a success, definitely.
Low success, but
Oh,
success. So
say low
he'll listen to you. He's like, you've seen the spirit of Amun Ra. Many men have said that his cursed form still wanders this desert.
I mean, you've seen him too.
He was
It was
just
that
over
one
there.
right out there. Hold on. Here. Have this. I stick it on your head now, there, Patty.
Okay.
I watch it spin a couple times. Oh, I don't like this. Makes me dizzy. I realize I'm talking, but my mouth isn't moving, and I'm talking to the guy now. So that was Amun Ra's ghost. He says he is cursed to walk the desert until his foolproof tomb has been despoiled.
Kind of give the idea that Patty's not so great in keeping like his thoughts like segregated. So he's saying that, but you're also getting like images of him trying to figure out exactly how he attracts fish with his underwear.
Yeah. But yeah, I just explained to him like the ghost told me that he was cursed to wander the desert. We need to despoil the tomb to free his ghost.
Okay, make me an intelligence check to see how much of that speech you can relay.
Yeah. I'm gonna re-roll. That's probably still too much. Yeah, no. It's over by 2. Okay. Let's fuck it. Auto success. 4. We have
So
plenty.
you use 7 in this. All right, auto success. You relay the gist of everything that was told to you. He believes you. He says, "Wow, I don't know exactly where his cursed tomb is. I know where it's said to be buried."
Do you have an elder back at your people that may have more information?
Yes.
Could we please have safe passage to your people and feast and
Oh no, they would kill you on sight.
Oh, well, that's not good. But could we at least speak to an elder or get information that way or trade or
Okay, so what you get out of him is he's part of actually a holy order. Yes,
Oh.
this holy order is the people that have been raiding the villages because the villagers have been plundering tombs. Him and his brethren are duty bound to protect the tombs so that they're not being despoiled. And you guys will definitely be seen as despoilers. So he would like to help you, but it is likely that any of his brethren would not want to talk to you and would just want to execute you. If you can figure out how to get over that, he would be glad to take you to one of his creches and
Didn't he say the curse on the land would be lifted if we do this too?
Yeah.
I mentioned that. I mentioned we could lift the curse and bring green.
He
back to
believes
this
you. Like
land.
he's all on
Yeah.
board. He believes you. But he doesn't know how he can convince his people not to kill you on sight.
On site, you say?
Kristen,
Speak to the invisible Jinn.
So I whisper to everybody. Whoever's communicating with him telepathically, can you tell him to take a few steps away? I have some. Oh, he can't understand us anyway. I say, and I'm like, and I say, so what if, let's say, after I sleep and learn some things again and remember some things, I charm him. We send him to talk to his elder about it, and we have Tristan follow him invisible to overhear their conversation.
I won't understand what they're saying.
The stone telepathically. You listen to his thoughts, have him translate in real time.
Yep. Now, funny thing though, the stone would not be invisible. It's just not in contact with Tristan.
Yeah.
We could tell him he found this gem spirit, which has news of freeing them from the curse.
And Patty, you
Pay
can
no
also let
attention to the.
Grunwolf know that you don't have to charm this guy. He's on board. He completely believes that you have spoken to
I
Amun
tell
Ra.
him, I'm like, no, he's cool. This guy's cool. What's your name?
Sammy.
Sammy.
How exotic a name.
Sammy L. Jackson. That's his name. Sammy, do you wish to save the desert?
I'm so sick and tired of these motherfucking Tomb Raiders in my motherfucking.
Well, you know what he did say. If we're all talking now to the people that talked with him, like if you tell us this, he did say he knows of where it was supposed to be theoretically, right? That's something.
Hmm.
I mean, what sort of have people been there to look? Have you been there?
It's the site's actually forbidden. There are some wise men who probably know, but as a rule, we don't go into the deep desert.
Right. So, but you know where you're not meant to go.
Yes.
Right. So if we go there, and then we had, say, 4 or 5 sharks swim around until they bump their nose into something.
It is
I don't know.
quite a trek. So not that he
Okay.
would know that, but the spell would not last that long.
Sure.
Your buddy would still be around for the next week, at least.
Yeah.
They're actually quite smart. So.
Oh, nice.
Oh, the shark?
Yeah.
Wait. I talked to the shark
Yeah. Ask
telepathically.
see if the shark's ever seen it. Any of them. We've got 5
Yeah.
right now, right?
Make me a
I'm
luck
gonna
check.
ask.
Yeah,
Yeah.
make me a luck
Okay.
check.
Always high, baby. Always high. Big money. Big money. Big money. No.
Actually, no. They'll tell you. No, they run into ruins all the time, but they can't tell a specific ruin from another. So.
Well, we could just go look in the area and have him swim around until he bumps into it.
Do we before we start this new endeavor, do we need to head back and let the people who conscripted us know that we took care of the shitheels?
Was
Well,
that it?
I
Didn't
mean,
they have a
I mean,
base?
This was just a small band of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I mean,
there was like
from-
a base.
From what Sammy's telling you, essentially, I mean, there's a whole society of them out here, so you technically have to kill them all.
Oh, these are also considered the raiders.
They are the raiders.
Okay.
Yeah. But,
Okay.
Yeah. They're raiding though because these villagers are sacking all these tombs.
Okay.
Yep.
Well-
We have to go in and kill the men, women, and children. All of them.
It's
In
it's
the
our
desert,
duty.
Where the sand gets coarse and there's a.
Well, wait. So then, are we the bad guys then? Because well, I know we're the bad guys, but
I
like,
imagine Patty asks himself that daily.
'Cause the
It's the first thing in his mind when he
Raiders
wakes up.
the raiders were pinned as the bad guys, but now like they're like, no, we're just trying to protect our land from these idiots that keep like fucking with it. So maybe
Hello,
the
I'm an
society.
idiot.
Well, we also released the Ifrit, so he might be fucking up that city as we speak, anyways. So there's like an Ifrit reigning high holy hell in society right now, probably. I mean, we should
wait.
go look.
I just came back. You're telling me you freed an Efreet that
Oh,
you
yeah.
found freedom, and I wasn't here to make that joke. I'm
Yeah,
pissed
no.
off. Now
Yeah.
I'm pissed off.
And he did mark me though if he wanted help or needed people, so he could come back and give us a job. But
Ooh.
maybe
You're marked by this. Why don't you try to commune with this Efreet and see if it knows where this is?
is there
It was
range
locked
on
for
this
1,000
telepathy?
30 foot.
Yeah, it's only. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
it was locked up thousands of years ago,
Yeah.
so I don't know whether it would have still been. You know,
I
I
like
mean,
a picture when Patty asks if we're the baddies. I just kind of look confused and look at everybody else like, is he
we all shake
serious?
our heads like, yeah.
Sure.
we
Of
freed
course
the
we
evil-
are.
tried to free the evil person.
I mean, were we
but-
told we can't come back to the city until we're done?
No, not specifically. They just told they. All right. So literally, what they said is that they would not escort you over the mountain range, and without a large escort, the raiders would kill you.
Oh.
They didn't say you couldn't come back to the city. They just, yeah.
Maybe the raiders won't kill. Oh no, I suppose they will kill us still.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounds like maybe so do we know from him telling us where he thinks it should be if going back to the first group that sequestered us is on the way?
Oh, it is definitely not on the way. Let me get you back to the map here.
Okay.
All right. So you guys are I'll move Thiber. You're about right there.
Okay.
The place that he's forbidden to go is in the deep desert, like over here.
Oh, further away.
Much further away. That's several days worth of travel. More than you have water and food for.
Right.
Normally you have a cleric that can take care of that.
We have food and water to get us back to society, though, so we could go back, resupply, and then
Good.
go back out.
If the
and,
city is still standing.
Right, and if it's not, we can just leave.
We can if
We
if the
plunder
city
what's
is
left
not-
and head home.
I was going to say, yeah, if we have destroyed that city, we can go to the raiders and say, hey, we solved your problem. They're not going to be
true.
raiding any more
Could.
tombs.
We could give them that news or bring the nomad with us for
Yeah.
proof and then send him back home so they don't kill us in the process. But
I'm gonna lean into the nomad, knowing he does not understand what I'm saying, and say, "How would you feel about being an honorary bard, singing the songs of our conquest to your people?"
I asked him what he's skilled at.
Mostly murder. Mostly
Okay,
murder.
cool. So another fighter.
Oh, you want to join us?
He's an assassin.
I out of character, my vote is I think we should go back and resupply because this sounds like a really big trip that we're underprepared for. I also think maybe taking on the raiders isn't the best idea.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm down to explore the temple if we can find it.
Okay. Yeah, I think
That's fun.
yeah, I'm down with that. And additionally, I'm a shitty cleric, but moving forward, I can create water, which is something Grownwolf was doing anyway, but just in a slightly different way. a lot.
Yeah. You
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
have to filter this water 20 times. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
my primary weapon that I use is a short sword of frost branch. Can that also create water? If
Yes.
it can?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. So it looks like between us we've got the water covered if we don't need to carry gallons and gallons of it around with us.
Yeah, I'm like so close to being able to create food
emergency.
and water, but I'm like one, I think, level away from having that. So, well, we do have water, and if we need food, I could always summon a monster, charm it, and then when it's looking the other way, stab it in the back of the head. Yeah, I think
Don't know that sand sharks taste good or provide enough nutrition. Oh,
well, it's not
we got a tentacle
fish.
for you to eat as well. You got that last week as well. Yeah, Grimwolf.
Oh, I
Wonder how
missed that. What
fast they
happened
can
last week?
travel.
Yeah, could we
Like,
like
you-
sit on the back?
That'd look kind of cool. Like their backs just barely above the sand, and it's just hauling ass
Yeah.
across the dude.
They are
Actually, how
large.
long does that spell last for?
So I think the actual just charming for
Yeah.
or I'm sorry, the summoning. Let me double
Summoning,
check.
Yeah.
It's pretty long, but it's not like forever. 2 rounds plus 1 per level, and I'm 8 levels, so 10 rounds.
Yeah, that's not very long at all.
No.
Yeah.
Mm.
So
the
they're
charmed
gone.
one, though,
They're gone by now, actually.
Yeah. The charmed one though is like he has another. It's a month before he can save, right?
Yep.
Again. Yeah.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Oh shit. Oh shit. Yeah. True. Okay. So how many of us could fit on the back of one?
Actually, this thing is large enough that if you all were fairly tight together, it could move all of you. You would not. Your camels, though, would not be moved along with it.
It can't pull the camels because it's not strong enough.
No, there's no room. There's not enough room on its back to also hold
But
the camel.
if we tied a rope around it and put like skis on the camel,
The camel would be dragged to its death eventually.
Just have the camels lay down on the tarp, and we
Yeah.
take the tarp where it's like angled up so it doesn't catch the sand. It's like a big sleigh.
exactly, yeah, something like that.
I'm sure the camels would love that.
Can't they just follow? Or is the shark too fast?
It's very fast in the sand.
Well, if it's
Honestly,
very fast,
hold on. Size. It's 9.5 feet from tail to snout.
I say we jump the shark this episode is what I say.
Honestly, no. If you actually were on the backs of your camels, it could do it.
All right, let's load it up. We have Talina. She's got the pack mule expert stuff. She can load everything up just right.
I love our new God Emperor Dune cosplay we're all doing for this. Call me Leto 3.
Yeah,
We've already got the just cast fireball a couple more times, and we'll have glass up in front of us as well, like a
Oh
windshield.
yeah, we have the glass thing we could use.
We got a dope. This is becoming either the Jetsons or the Homer Mobile, and I don't know which.
Yeah, it's got a 140 move, and it is big enough that the camels could. Yeah, sure, you guys can do that.
I love it.
Ride that baby all the way back. And just dismount it like right outside the city or something, and then.
All right, so that's the question: are you going to go back to the city, or do you guys just want to go right into the depths of the desert?
Let's ask the question to ourselves in the party, like what do we gain by going back to the city? It's potentially letting them know that this is fruitless, that there are thousands of these people, and you're not gonna be able to kill them.
Well, we don't have to tell them that. We can also just be like, hey, we're resupplying. We ran into some trouble, got into a sandstorm, took out a bunch of them, but we're gonna go back and finish the job.
And proof of that is this one, which is cooperating now because we kicked their butt so hard. That seems like an okay plan.
Mm-hmm.
Also, look, we tamed the animals of your fucking desert. This shark is like totally my pal now. Group hug. I'm okay with that. How's everybody else feel about that?
I'm fine. Or if this thing, if it moves quick enough, if we could get out to deep desert safely on this in an expedient manner.
Well, we
like
have this
that.
thing for a month. I'm just thinking we might want to get dungeon supplies and food and water just in case like we get for whatever happens on the way there or back.
I'm gonna put it out there. Yeah, I know, Thiber. Why? I cover the ears of the nearest adjacent camel and I say, worst case, we just eat the camels that are riding the back of the shark if we run out of food.
So it moves at roughly twice the speed of your camels.
Oh wow!
Wow.
I put my arm around Thiber, which I don't know how Thiber feels about in this moment, and I say, I'm with Thiber. I say we just go for it.
I think we should go back to town first of all and get supplies and stuff. Just because have you ever broken into an unbreakable tomb before?
I mean, Temple of Elemental Evil, yes.
Lone Wolf, we can get more food to eat if we go
Exactly.
We stumbled into one.
True.
Remember, from the very beginning.
Yeah, when oh god, Odette,
Yep.
yeah, let us into the Underdark, yeah.
Yep.
I feel like Talina would probably vote to go back to town. So I think you and I might be outvoted, Thybor.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that.
I mean, come on. Don't you want to cruise into town on the back of the camels while the shark is pulling it all there just to show them how we've conquered the desert when they sent us out there?
So let's ask, could we Wonder Woman invisible jet this and put your sword on the shark?
I don't know. I think it'd be more impressive coming in on the shark. And they're like, I thought y'all said this was going to be hard.
Yeah, you know what? You've appealed to my ego. I think we go back to town and show off.
All right, so just to make it clear, because your magic user would know, you definitely have the shark for at least a week, but it has a 90% chance of breaking that charm after a week.
You can just cast it again, right?
Yeah, assuming we get another one of those, though.
And
Well, I mean, it's
going to
be
us
there,
or take
right?
off first.
Is there a decent likelihood would I know if there's a decent likelihood of if I summon monster again after it goes away, if it's in the area, that it would be the thing to come back?
You would know. Like you just honestly wouldn't know. You don't know what's out here.
Okay. Yeah, there could be like 3 pebble-sized monsters. They're like, "Ahoy, we're your friends now." Come on. Okay.
Where's sand fleas? Glad to meet you.
Damn it, I had those already. So yeah, I think I'd let everybody know that like if we want to make use of the overland fast travel in the time that we have it, we might want to head towards towards the unknown, untravelable desert where this thing is supposed to be.
Do we know how long it would take us to get to the spots? Or roughly?
Would the nomad be able to tell us like roughly how long it would be?
Where he showed up
on camel, it's like a 4-day journey.
It's not
Oh,
too
then,
bad.
I mean, if
Like
it's going
2
twice the
days.
speed, then yeah, we got plenty of time to.
But what about when we, go into the temple and we're not feeding the camels, and then God knows how long it takes to be in the temple, and then we have to take possibly dead camels all the way back to the desert, meaning we're not going to have a camel to ride when we leave, because the
Hello.
sand shark's only here for a bit.
Evil cleric here. I'll reanimate those fuckers, and we'll just ride their corpses into town.
Oh, if you can do that, I didn't know. I'm just saying, like, what are we gonna do when we leave and they're all dead because nobody's been feeding them when we were
We
dungeon
ride
diving?
dead camels then. And when the rest of you guys die, I'll reanimate you and use you more.
fair.
cut to 50 years in the future. It's still the adventuring party, but I'm the only one left alive. Everyone else is like,
A
"Urgh."
corpse. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm okay with going back to town. I think that's probably the sensible thing, and it feels like that's what most
Yeah.
people want to do.
Because I mean, it's gonna only take what, like a day at this rate, with how fast it is
Oh.
to get back to town.
Less than that,
Less
surely.
than a day, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
let's do
then-
that then.
And then
Yeah.
we'd still have plenty of time to get to the temple, and then we could take the land shark with us through the temple and have it eat everything, and then like kill it before it turns on us.
I'll just order it to go very far away before it turns on us.
Run, be free. We don't love you anymore.
I think of John Lithgow at the end of that terrible Bigfoot movie where he's like, "Go, we don't need you."
Nice. So the plan is to go back to the city then.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's see here. Let me figure this real quick here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay.
Well, where's the town? Is it the green blobs?
No.
No, it's at the very
It's up
end here. Yeah.
Oh, all the way up there. Okay.
Yeah, it actually is going to take, even at double the speed, it's going to take a full day to get
Okay.
there.
Okay. So I'll mark that off on our rations in the player notes.
So
Thanks.
1, 2, 3.
So we'll have, after that, we'll have 5 days worth of water and 3
Okay.
days of standard rations and 2 preserved ration weeks.
Well, you don't hit any random encounters.
Good.
So yeah, I mean, the shark swims tirelessly. So I mean, it can continue on through day and night, so it doesn't take that long actually. So like we'll say the morning of the next day, you guys reach where the desert becomes more rocky and there's a little bit more mountains, over the mountain ridge. On the other side of the mountain ridge is the city. Now you were warned that crossing the mountain ridge itself, though, is going to be hazardous without a large force.
Okay,
Uh,
for
now
my
this-
cleric spells, I prepared Cure Light Wounds a bunch of times. So if 3, actually everybody but me can roll a d8 during that one day that we're traveling.
Okay.
And also remember, you get a +2 instead of a +1 when you rest, because I do first aid.
Right.
So you did.
You get a
cure
d8.
wounds.
Yeah, everybody gets a d8.
How much did you say I'd taken before I got back in?
4 points.
So I heal 2 from the cure, and then we slept 2 as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's, I roll a hit die.
Now, your shark cannot continue
Wait, no,
beneath the
don't roll a hit
sand.
die.
So it will have to surface if you want to bring it with you over the mountains.
I think that's fine. I
Okay.
think that's fine.
Does it need to breathe? sand, or I mean, how does it work?
It breathes air. It just can hold its breath for a very long time.
Okay.
Blowhole kind of situation.
Mhm.
Okay. When it's
How does
about
it
to
move
become
on top of the rocks then?
Stubby little legs. Stubby little legs.
Okay then.
Yeah, and it is not very fast on top of land. Its movement
I'm
is
on the
actually
map
really
twice.
slow. What's that?
I have 2 icons on the map. I just
Oh, yeah.
It's a mirage.
Exactly.
okay.
All right. So, yeah, its movement on the surface is very slow. Its movement on the surface is actually only... Oh, boy. Hold on. Let me get to him real quick.
New plan: run from the shark. It took a week. No.
3. So 30. It's really slow.
So can we like? Are these 2-hump camels? Could we like get 2 camels and balance it between 2 humps and?
now it's the camel's
Oh.
turn to pull.
No, this thing is way too large for the camels to pull. So,
okay.
yeah.
All right.
So you're
how
going to
long-
cross the mountains with this 57 Buick, and
Or set it free.
yeah,
We can set
mean,
it.
we can
free.
leave it here and say, hey,
Yeah.
we'll be back in a day. Well, less than a day.
actually you
I like
can
that
do
idea.
that. It would still remain charmed if you tell it just to go hunt,
Yeah.
and you'll be back.
I like that idea. I'm gonna tell it to hunt and actually to hunt more and leave a pile of food if it finds extra.
You're gonna come back to just like all these just dead things piled up.
Why not? 2 birds, 1 stone.
All right. Okay, so leading your way through the mountains, the paths are not difficult, but as you go through, it takes a better part of the afternoon to be able to get to make your way through the hazardous terrain. You get to the peak and you see the city down below you. You also find that you are surrounded by many, many, many more of the fellows like the one that's with you right now, with the black scarves over their face, just kind of taking up position behind rocks and boulders, with crossbows, and there are hundreds of them up here.
So we don't have the thing that appealed to our ego that's going to be shock and awe, but what we do have is the evidence of a nomad. So I think I'd like to ask whoever's communicating with him telepathically if he would mind pretending to be tied up for a little bit, so that way he's not seen as a threat and doesn't get killed on sight.
No, wait, he is.
It's one of his people.
It's his
Yeah.
people.
Oh,
They're them.
I missed the okay. I thought it was the people that ordered
no,
us, not.
no, it's his people. So they're just looking at you from, vantage points above you, around you, surrounding you. They're all over. They're just everywhere.
Shout out about how we are the heroes of prophecy, come to save you from the dreaded
Curse of
life of
Amun-Ra.
hard. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's better than
Oh.
saying nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you say? Not specifically, but just what's the guess that you're trying to go for here, Tristan?
Hey, we're these people who I am with, says the nomad, are the heroes from prophecy who are here to save us from
Okay,
the curse
I'll
of
have you roll
Amun-Ra.
it. Go ahead and roll. His charisma's 13.
Or for an auto success.
That
I
would...
might as well roll.
Well,
once.
actually, you can't because he's rolling for an NPC. So you can't.
Yeah.
use-
No,
But
like
that's a
that.
success. That's a low success, but it's a success.
I haven't rolled.
Oh, I
That is
thought
my
that
hit point
one was
die.
not-
No,
okay,
that's
yeah,
that's my
alright.
hit point die. I've gained
Okay.
1 hit point back.
Okay.
Right, Tristan kills himself. I am now the nomad, so now I can spend bits. He's no longer an NPC. No, it failed horribly.
All right. I'm not gonna roll for it, but at least a couple dozen crossbow bolts, and the guy just as he is
No,
filled.
Sammy!
Sammy
Why,
is
Sam?
just completely just turned into
Why
a
would
porcupine.
they kill Sammy?
Oh no,
Uh,
Sammy looks so Hagar now.
And then he just kind of falls over in mid-sentence, bleeding out on the ground. What do you guys do?
Who's the most charismatic of us? Is it you, Grunwolf?
Oh, let me check. I don't know. I think that's actually not super true.
I think it's you. Tristan.
Yeah,
I'm average. I'm a 10.
Well, you can spend your own points now, so anybody can do it.
Yeah. All right. I put the telepathic thing on and say, "Why did you kill him? He was the herald of the heroes of prophecy who were going to save you from Amun-Ra. It's curse."
Okay. So you're mass speaking to the people within 30 feet around you, so they're hearing you in their heads. Make me a charisma check, or spend
Just
4
game
points.
that. Just game that system, eh?
Either one.
No matter
Roll
what.
it.
Yeah, you
I'm
roll
just
it.
gonna roll.
Yeah.
That's a
It's good success.
and that's a decent
Yeah,
success.
it's
Yeah, that's
decent.
below my.
All right. So the consensus, you're hearing several voices because it's everybody within 30 feet that you're trying to communicate with, not a particular person. So you're basically hearing that he's contaminated. He has spent too much. He spent too much time in your presence. That he is mad and no longer clean. So they pause because you've kind of got this connection to them. They want to hear what you have to say. You were saying something about heroes
These
of
heroes
prophecy.
have been charged by Amun-Ra to
All right, so here's the thing.
break the curse.
Patty rolled not so great on his intelligence check, so he wasn't actually able to relate most of
Everything.
that to you. Just the fact that Amun-Ra wants his tomb raided, and this will somehow help.
It'll
Everyone.
break his curse.
It will
That's
break
like a
his
game
curse.
of
his
telephone
curse.
here.
I mean,
I see this going down, and as if I was able to read a chat from another plane, I take a suggestion from it, and I say to the group, "Let's show them some of our miracles," and I try to reanimate Sammy.
yeah.
Okay.
All right, let me double check. I haven't done this in a while because I'm such a shitty cleric. I think I roll, what is it, a 2d6?
Well, no. Do you have the one? Do you have the spell animate dead?
Oh, I don't have animate dead. I have the control undead. That's
yeah,
right.
he
I
has
can't
to
do
be an
that.
undead
Yeah,
first.
So my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's how shitty of a cleric I am. I forgot that. Yeah,
I mean, you
no,
have access to the spell, I believe, but unless you already had it memorized.
I didn't.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Who knew we would need it today?
Yeah. Who knew?
Everyone knew. Come on.
Man.
It's a 3rd level spell. Can you cast 3rd level spells?
No, I can't.
Okay.
I'm at level 4. I can only do level 2 cleric
Okay,
spells.
yeah. So you actually can't even do it yet. All right. Well, I tell
That
you
was
what.
gonna be
I
bad.
tell you what. Tristan.
Our rogue could animate him. Do a weekend at
Weekend
Bernie's
at
kind of thing.
Bernie's,
And you communicate telepathically in his language?
I don't
I
think
tell you
it's a
what,
good
Tristan.
idea.
Make me a luck check. Let's see if any of the nomads that are here know the name Amun-Ra.
You could scare the shit out of him that way too.
I
Do
don't
it.
think I really travel invisible, though. Not when we're going into friendly places. Only when we're
Yeah.
scouting out. All right. Luck check. Hi today. 86.
hey.
Hi.
Yes, there actually are some lore smiths here that are part of their tribe that actually do know the name and the prophecy of Amun-Ra. So I mean, you hear in this little network that you have using the Ioun Stone, where they summon one of their elders, and they're communicating, and of course you're hearing it because they're not really guarding their thoughts. So the elder knows of Amun-Ra, knows that his spirit has been wandering the wastelands. And so the elder turns to you and thinks, describe the being you spoke to.
I'm the one that spoke to him.
I was going to say, I catch the stone, hand it to Patty and put it on. Describe who we met.
Hello.
Describe the person.
I am Patty. I spoke with Amun-Ra's ghost. You could see through him. He had robes that were tattered. His skin was so tight.
What color were his eyes?
They were a milky white.
Okay.
They
Okay,
were-
yeah, you feel this palpable sense of like tension reduce.
Mm. And they were
And
milky white. He told me that the land was once green.
Oh,
And
you,
that
I don't think you can even remember that much.
Oh, no, okay.
So-
I say like he says he was. I do remember he was cursed to walk the desert
until somebody
the-
looted his stuff.
until his unbreakable tomb was broken or
Yes.
whatever. His
All right.
unraidable tomb was raided.
All right.
He
So
told us to get a staff.
so
I
remembering
see.
that he was blind, that his eyes were milky, was what kind of reduced the tension. And you're invited to their camp to discuss. And we'll end it there for the night.
Woo!
Yep.
We didn't
Phew.
die.
Yeah.
Now we
That's-
only
I
need
like
to
that.
fight our way through hundreds and hundreds of them on our way out.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way,
When
the
we
city.
accidentally insult them.
The city below you, as this is near dawn when you reach this area, you see no signs of fires. No hearth fires, no chimney fires. The whole city down there is just like it's not lit up. There's no sign of life. All right, so
maybe
I'm gonna ask what happened to the city.
We'll get to that
Okay,
next time.
okay.
We'll get to
All
that
right.
next time.
You know what happened to the city.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Oak, what do you got? You got something right after this?
Yep. Soon as we're done here, I'm gonna play some 5e homebrew, which is the same campaign, but like I think 400 years in the future that I play on Friday night. And the cool thing there is my character that I play on Friday night becomes the big bad guy of the future campaign, and my current guy is a warlock that worships him. So,
That sounds about
Yeah.
as convoluted as our games.
yup. And then Saturday nights I run some Grimdark homebrew starting midnight central. Oh, and
Sounds good.
Deadlands tomorrow or Thursday.
Yeah, I still have yet to be able to play as a player in a Deadlands game. I'm very sad. Friendin, what do you got going on?
Well, as the city is slicker, it is crystal clear that I will be back here next week doing this. I usually draw just about every weekday on Twitch, but I've had some Meat Space stuff going on. But eventually, if you want to see some tabletop RPG art, give me a follow.
Very good. Dion, what are you playing right now?
Well, when I'm not playing TTRPGs with all my super cool, awesome friends like you guys, you can find me on my channel at Substance Used, where I am currently playing through Secret of Evermore. It is an old Super Nintendo JRPG classic that runs off the same battle system as Secret of Mana. And it's a story about a boy and his dog. We just got to the 3rd area out of 4 in the game. So we're coming up towards beating it soon. Yeah.
Nice. Richard?
Well, as technology marches onwards, eventually we will be able to terraform Mars. And then humans can be miserable on multiple planets. But if you want to see me being miserable playing a game, why don't you join me here on Twitch at LMTDTMFFR? Or, say it with me now,
Limited time
time
offer.
offer. No vowels.
vowels or
Vowels.
sharks.
Something about
or
vowels and a
sharks.
No
time
vowels.
offer.
Yep.
Those as well.
And if you found us, you know where we are. Twitch.tv/Steam Steel Murder. We play on Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sundays, and the odd day when I'm able to make some time. But guys, tonight, please hang out for just a little bit. We're going to raid Art Hard Studios. Dion suggested these folks. So I'd appreciate it if you'd hang out for a few minutes so that they can get their count up on the stream. And we are going now.
No.
Tonight.
Soon.
Any minute it will come over.
I love one of my favorite things on Twitch is that little period between announcing a raid and doing it.
I think there's like a. There it is. There it goes.
And there you go. And now you get rated.
Did it? We did
And
it.
it says we are rating.
Nice. All right. So,
That was a fun session.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry I had to bail